play enthusiasts. This is Ashley Jefferson here with Miss Laura Ladefian. We are here to talk about some play therapy today. How are you, Laura?
I'm good. How are you?
Awesome. So we're in her office right now, and she's going to talk about what play therapy is and some of the cool things she shows us. She works with the kids, and so can you tell me a little bit about your experience working with kids and how you got into play therapy?
Yeah, so I've kind of always been around kids. I was the neighborhood babysitter, and I nannied all during college and grad school, so it was kind of a natural transition for me to do play therapy. So during my master's and specialist degree in counseling, I did some training at the Play Therapy Training Institute at Georgia State. And so once I started that, I found an internship practicing play therapy and kind of went along from there.
Awesome, awesome. So can you tell us, like, what is play therapy? What it's about?
Yeah, so play therapy uses play, which is a child's first and most natural language. Play therapy uses play in a therapeutic way to help kids resolve psychosocial difficulties such as family changes, anxiety, grief, trauma, anger, depression, pretty much anything under the sun. Play therapy can help kids cope with. Play therapy is most effective with kids age 3 to 12, but play-based activities can be incorporated into therapy with really like any developmental stage.
Yeah,
teenagers, adults, couples.
Awesome. Cool. So I guess the first thing I wanted to talk about, we've got this nice office here, and you've got a bunch of things on the shelf here. So can you tell us about a couple of things that are here and what you might use them for?
Yeah, so as I said, you know, if play is a child's language, then toys are their words.
Definitely.
And so children will use toys to express themselves, to work out whatever's salient to them in the moment. So here I've got a lot of miniatures and toys. In play therapy, toys are kind of divided into categories. So, for example, I've got some like aggressive toys, you know, like soldiers, army men. I've got some fantasy toys. So these are kind of like your mythological creatures. You know, the kicker about play therapy is that the toys are selected, not collected. So, you know, this room isn't like I just went to Toys R Us and was like, oh, I'll get that and that.
Yeah.
Each of the categories of toys have a purpose behind them.
Exactly.
So, for example, you know, I've also got some nurturing toys here, got my baby dolls. So if children are playing out something that's going on for them that includes nurturing themes, they are pretty likely to play with my nurturing toys. Same is true for like the aggressive toys. If they've got some pent-up anger, I'm probably going to see them gravitate towards the aggression toys.
Right. It's similar to the classroom with choosing toys with purpose as far as lesson plans and everything, but this is a little bit different in terms of like talking about feelings. But I guess that's something that'd be really interesting to apply in the classroom with trying to get to kids to talk more. But now, what are some things that you might struggle with in terms of getting people to understand why play therapy is so important?
Yeah. So
and what sets it apart from just being in the classroom with what I had just said?
Right. So I think one of play therapy's biggest struggles is just a lack of awareness. You know, in the mental health field, there's like a lot of buzz around stuff like CBT, and so I'll have parents call me sometimes, and they'll be like, "Do you do CBT? I have a 3-year-old." And I'll kind of explain to them that cognitive behavioral therapy is not developmentally appropriate. You know, if I were to sit a 3-year-old down, like in a traditional therapy room with a couch and 2 chairs, I'd lose their interest in about 60 seconds.
Yeah, we have that same problem in the classroom too, in academics and stuff too, so it's similar.
And so just kind of raising community awareness about children's developmental levels, about the therapeutic powers of play. Also, I mean, play has a lot of other benefits just for like mastery and a lot of things that you see in the classroom. But I guess what I would differentiate between like the powers of play in the classroom classroom versus play therapy
Mhm.
is that play therapists are trained to facilitate the therapeutic process using play.
Mhm.
So, you may use play-based interventions in the classroom the same way that I'm using play-based interventions to facilitate emotional expression, communication skills, decision making.
Right.
So there's definitely a lot of overlap. I think probably the intentionality is different.
Yeah. Sounds like good. The other thing I wanted to ask you, if you had, because there's a lot more around the office too, what are your top 3 toys that you might use to, like with the first trial or the first class or the first time that you meet with the student? What's the first 3 toys you usually go to? Or
Yeah, so actually in my first session with children, I practice what's called child-centered play therapy, which means that the child is in the lead. They're kind of like the director, so to speak.
Right.
And so during that first session, it gives me an opportunity to observe the child just for developmental level, any relevant play themes. If I've got a kid that automatically goes to the bop bag over there and is just wailing on it, I'll make a little mental note it looks like there's some anger in there. And so for every child it's different because I introduced the first session and here you can play with the toys in lots of the ways you want. And so you may have some that go straight to the baby dolls, you may have some that go to the puppets or the bop bag or the sand tray. So there isn't anything that I direct children to right off the bat, but I would say probably sand tray and the bop bag are probably the 2 most popular in my playroom.
Awesome, that's good to know. Cool. All right, well, thank you so much for your answers. I do have a challenge for you. Every interview that we do, there's the bubble challenge. So Laura has the bubbles today where she's going to blow them. Let's see how big you can, here you go. Blow this bubble right here.
I hope it's going to be big.
I don't know.
Quite a bit of practice doing bubble breathing in here.
Oh, good.
All right.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, hit it. Woo! That's pretty good. That's genius. Awesome. All right, well, thank you so much, Miss Laura. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you soon with another interview with Play Enthusiasm. How can we reach you?
So if people are interested in learning more about play therapy,